Hey, Bert.
Hey, Brian.
I'm kind of bored.
Me too.
Man, if only I had something to do at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. Michelle, can you help us out?
I got something for you guys.
Yeah.
You can come right over to our new Twitch channel, Get Dunked On Podcast, where we are all going to hang out and chat while we play video games.
I love them video games. Cortana.
And of course, that must cost a high fee, don't it?
No, this is the best part. You are all welcome to attend for absolutely nothing.
Woohoo!
Can I join?
No.
What about me?
Absolutely.
All right.
For more information, you should go over to getdunkedonpodcast.com. Hello, everybody. My name's Craig.
I'm Brian.
I'm Burke.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is Get Dunked On, the podcast.
I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Little Dawson's Creek action, anyone?
Wow.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a Dawson moment earlier. I'd say I was flipping through the channels, and it's a Dawson's Creek, and it caught right at the beginning of it when they were playing the song, and I was like, that's for later. I'm putting that in the back pocket.
I don't think I ever watched Dawson's Creek.
I definitely never did.
Oh. I mean, I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a few episodes of it. I mean, it's like your standard, like, it's like a precursor to the CW, like, dramas, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I feel like I need to go back to appreciate it just as much as you appreciate, the other CW shows, even though it's kind of like the DCW. La 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 la, I stole that joke. But I feel like I need to go back just to watch Vanderbeek act a little bit more, because I love watching him in anything else. The Beak is amazing.
Yeah, he was little young, little rough on around the edges when it comes to. Maybe you should skip it. Just throwing that out there. I'm not saying it was bad acting. I'm just saying that, like, the few episodes that I've seen of the show, that
I
I was
don't
like,
think it was his prime.
no.
Then maybe I'll just have this misty memory of what it could have been.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm good with
That
that.
sounds like a better plan.
And in the meantime, let's Michelle, why don't you tell a story and get Craig off this topic?
Okay, so this unfortunately is not my story. I wish it was, but it was literally right after we finished streaming last week that John showed me this news story. Like, it was a local news story, and I will link you guys the video in a second here, so that you guys can watch it while I describe what happens, because it's kind of hard to tell. And I will also include this link, for you guys in the description down below. So just that short YouTube video there. So basically what happens is this officer is driving and he has his dash cam on. He sees this deer run out into the road, and this lady's SUV nails the deer. And she stops, pulls over, and the officer pulls up to see if she needs help. And she opens her door, and watch what the deer does.
Okay, so right now I see the deer coming.
Yeah. So she opens the door, and this deer just gets up and tries to get in her SUV and just take her out. And she has to, like, in the news story, they describe how she has to, like, grab the deer's antlers and, like, push him out the door.
Do you see her foot?
I was muted, but yes, that's exactly what I was pointing out, was her foot. All you see is her foot come out like, back away, dear!
And then he's on the ground, like, flopping a little bit before he gets up and attempts to walk away. Unfortunately, the deer did end up dying from his injuries, but, like, just, like, when I saw the news story where it was like
to the head.
The deer trying to get into her car. Yeah.
He's got a boot print.
Boot print.
But this is Sparta!
Yeah, because he just goes off and, like, fights this deer.
Iceberg. I butchered the Fusroda thing. I think I said Fusrada. I don't know what I said.
Whoa. Make sure not to let the video go, because all of a sudden it goes into techno with deer versus car compilation.
Yeah, I'm getting that now.
It's like, wow.
Anyway, so that just happened right after we were done streaming, and it was funny because, like, we had talked about the topic, and I was just like, oh my god, this is perfect because it's hilarious, and it also is semi-related to our topic.
There's a few people in the world that can say that I killed a deer with my bare boot. Like, that's incredible.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the car like helped, but I don't know if the boot
I'm
was
sure.
actually
No, it's
the
the
killing blow or
It's the
not.
boot.
But
But I mean, that was a bug.
Finish him.
It's like up, back, left, a quarter circle.
Oh no, we broke Bert.
Oh, God,
we are
here he
5 minutes
goes.
into this podcast. and Bert's broken.
I can hear the laughter tears.
Oh my god! So people are gonna be after that woman. I mean, she was
wasn't a
kind of being a little
danger
jerky, wasn't she? Oh my god!
Oh my god.
That was. Thank you for sharing that.
That was
Definitely,
beautiful.
viewers at home or listeners at
I thought it
home,
was
check
hilarious.
it out.
Has anybody else taken out a deer with their vehicle or their foot, for that matter?
No.
I have not.
No, I I have a kind of an interesting story about trying to kill a deer though.
Okay, well, so that means I'm the only one that's taken a deer out with their vehicle.
Yes.
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 Yeah, you have more kills, more confirmed kills than all of us.
Yeah. I've
That
hunted
was-
deer, and you still win.
I wasn't hunting. I was driving, albeit faster than I should have been. If you want to go back to our road trip podcast and confirm that, I was driving about 80 miles an hour trying to get to work on a main highway in Michigan. And it was literally, and Brian will know what I'm talking about here. When you're going south on 75, right where we used to live, it's one of those you enter on the left side, like the
Oh,
entrance
I
ramps
hate
on the
that
left side.
area.
Yep. So I entered in on the left and it's early morning and I wanted to get all the way to the right as fast as possible. It was so early that there's really nobody else on the road. So I didn't really have to, it wasn't like fighting. So I was just getting over. So that's kind of what you do. You get all the way over, at least in my head. I get all the way over until I need to pass somebody. Then I go around them on the left. I get all the way over. I'm like, just checking. I'm talking. I get onto the far left lane. Like I merge in. I look to the right, make sure, I'm checking blind spots, looking to the right, making sure nothing's there, move over, do it again, check the blind spot again, move over, look forward, and all of a sudden I literally just saw fur in my
Oh god.
In your peripheral vision.
no, not in my peripheral vision. Like I turned back and it was just fur in my dashboard.
Oh my god!
And not dashboard, but like my windshield. There we go. Seeing through the windshield. All I saw was fur, and just smash and smoked it. And thank God they make those things decently well enough because it did not. There was a hole about the size of a softball that was literally straight through. Where I could have poked my finger out into the open air, but the rest just spider webbed. I was like, if I had that deer hit any other particular way, that deer could have come through and hit me in there. But I guess I pulled right off to the side immediately afterwards, and a couple other people, good Samaritans, stopped as well to check on me to make sure I was all right. And I was like, where's the deer? And they're like, it's way back there. They're like, it went about 20 feet in the air. You smoked it. The guy, then a trucker stopped and he was like, I saw it doing flips in the air.
Did he take what happened to the deer though is the question. Did you keep it?
The deer was still laying roughly where it landed.
No, I meant afterward. Did someone strap to the roof and drive off, or did they leave it for just on the road?
That's
or?
illegal.
Oh, it was you weren't getting anything off of that deer.
It was sleeping.
That deer was brutalized.
I figured it was already processed.
That deer was brutalized
That
over
deer
on the
was
side of the
already
road.
jerky.
So there wasn't anything
Tenderized
pulling, and
meat.
it was luckily it was on the side of the road too. Like it landed. I was in the far right lane. It landed in the median
Wow.
on a
crap.
3-lane road. So 3-lane one way.
Smoked
It
that deer.
landed in the median. And Michigan has, I don't know if other people, it's not a median's not just like a wall. It's like a literal grass, like 30 feet stretch of grass right there. So, yeah. So, Brian, you attempted to actually purposefully take one of these things out, right?
Yes. So when I was a kid, I decided that I was going to go hunting. When I say I was a kid, I mean I was probably like 13, 14 years old, something like that. I grew up in a house that my dad was always a hunter. So in the fall, hunting was a very common thing. It was like, oh yeah, everybody goes hunting. So I was like, okay, Dad, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go bow hunting or whatever. And he goes, all right, so I'll take you out. So we go out, and he's got this whole setup, right? We're sitting in a little blind, and we got like a little feeder thing going, and just like, so that way they're going to come in, and we're like, okay. And it's my first time out ever in my entire life hunting, and this giant buck walks in, and by my dad's count, it was like seriously like a 13-point buck, like some like ridiculous number, like where you were like for sure between 8 and 15 was was the count. So I just said 13 for argument's sake. But anyway, the point is that this thing comes comes in, and I'm freaking out because I'm a kid. I have my bow in my hands. My heart's beating out of my chest, and everything I had learned about how to shoot at a deer with a bow went out the window, because like the first thing you're supposed to do is like really slowly, like once it's in position, like bring it up slow, you draw slow. Opposite. That's what I did. I literally went
Freaked out.
He went Oliver Breen and starts rapid fire.
It was like that, except for the problem is that unlike Oliver Breen can't hit the broadside of a barn when he's going super fast. But you know what I can hit? And this is what happened. I swear to God, this is true what happened. I fire super fast. My dad didn't even know what happened. He said, "What the hell?" And the arrow goes flying. Deer runs off. We go out there. My arrow,
killed a man.
I shit you not. I shot the feeder. So the arrow was just buried into the feeder, and I'm like, oh. My dad's like, hey, that was great, hey son, let's go home.
And I'm guessing the feeder is one of the ones that's like 15 feet off the ground high.
Well, it was like 5 to 10. I don't know. It wasn't that high off, but it was. But the point is that it was
well above the deer.
It was. Oh yeah. It wasn't even close. And after that, I was like, you know what? I don't think I even want to go hunting. I don't know why I wanted to be out here. And so I was like, I'm done with this, and I never hunted again.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm crying.
My grandfather took me out hunting once. Never took me out again.
I can't picture you hunting. I'm sorry.
I've never been either. My stepdad's idea of hunting is he sets up the tree stand, and then he goes in it and he drinks beer and watches the deer. And then after he's had a few beers, he's like, okay, now it's time to kill a deer, and you can about imagine how that goes.
Now I could do that.
That's funny. See, that's about how my deer hunting experience has been. I've been quite a few times. I've been bear hunting, and the funny thing is, like, I've seen tons of deer, but they're always the opposite of what I'm supposed to shoot. You know, I went bear hunting, and one weekend I was trying to either shoot bear or a buck, right? And I saw doe. The next day, doe hunting season opens, right? So I'm like, all right, I can shoot doe. Don't see a damn thing. And then, of course, no bears, of course. And then I go to a buddy's land, and we're supposed to hunt the doe. You know, we're just there kind of helping him out, clear out some of the doe, because basically they had an overpopulation, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And so the only thing I see are these beautiful, like, 10-point bucks. And I'm like, I hate my life. I just want deer. I just want deer meat.
Yeah.
I just want deer. That's all I want. I want some good meat. I'm going to take it home. No, nothing. Got nothing. Those are my hunting stories.
But at least you never got hurt. Like, none of us got hurt, right?
No. Don't get me wrong. I still go hunting. Like, I absolutely love it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not. There's nothing like you'll never get an argument out of me. There's nothing wrong with hunting, but I was just saying that I'm really glad that nobody got hurt, because that's like one of the biggest things when you go out in the woods. You don't want to get hurt.
Well, yeah, especially bear hunting. Don't get me wrong. I was scared shitless. Like,
my dad killed a bear.
That was my first time ever hunting. Was hunting a be I'm not kidding. It was,
what? That was your first?
Basically, someone called me and goes, "Hey, a buddy just backed out. Can you go hunting next weekend with me in Arkansas?" I was like, "Sure. What are we hunting?" Bear. Excuse me?
Come again?
I was like, sure, why not? Let's go.
Bears are assholes, man.
Yeah.
They are an asshole species.
Yeah.
They're an asshole species.
Well,
that's why Winnie the Pooh is known as such an asshole. So he's like, I want some honey. And they're like, fuck that guy.
Yeah, bears are pretty big assholes. They're decently aggressive when you get around anything of theirs.
If you scare them, if you startle them, yeah.
Yeah.
They think everything is theirs. So they're kind of like children. And the fact that Male bears, male grown bears. I don't know what the term for a male bear is, but they eat their cubs when they wake up because they're like, hey, look, food. And they'll just eat their cubs.
Yeah, they don't care. It's the mothers that take care
The
of them.
mothers are very protective. The dads, they'll eat anything else just as much as they would the trout that they're trying to catch or salmon they're trying to catch in the river.
Well, I mean, details. But no, I was asking earlier about making sure everybody hadn't gotten hurt, because that is actually our topic today, is talking about medical issues and basically our experiences in the medical field, whether it be being as a patient or what have you. So, unfortunately, or kind of fortunately, this is our opportunity to share our war stories and all of our scar stories and all of our, that kind of thing.
Those war stories. I've got some rough and tumble war stories if you guys want to hear how pathetic my injuries are.
I scraped my knee as a kid.
Ooh, are we gonna do a competition to see who has the most pathetic reason they had to go to the ER?
Yeah. I can at least compete in that one, like in terms of the pathetic side of things.
Michelle, Burke, are you in on this?
I can compete. I won't win. I've only been to the ER once.
I will probably win this.
You'll probably win this, you said?
Yeah, I mean, I've had like good reasons to go, but I think I might have the most pathetic.
All right, well, let's start off with something light with the most pathetic reasons that we had to go. Who wants to go first?
Okay, so I've only got one entry into the ER one. I've had a lot of other stupid injuries, but I'll for the ER. The only one I ever had was this. I went through and we went out to, this was in college. What year was this, Burke? 2005? No, early 2006, spring 2006. We went out to Johnson City to watch our basketball team in a tournament, because if they won it, they'd get into the NCAA tournament, and it would have been a big fun thing. So we go out there, right? We drive out there. We're there for, what is it, 2-3 days, Burke? Something like that?
Yeah.
We drive back after that tournament because they lost. And so everybody's driving back. It's a 5-hour drive. It's like probably midnight or 1 o'clock when we get back. And our school has a policy where, at the time at least, I don't know if it's there anymore, when we were there, you couldn't be out past midnight. You had to be checked into your dorm room before midnight or something like that, close to. But it's already, midnight or 1 o'clock by the time we got back. So the basketball team got back around the same time we did. And there's a handful of them that went into not the rec center. There's another gym that they could go to and play. And they started doing like pickup games of basketball with, just anybody. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go in there and play with them, see how I do against a Division I school. Like some of them were starters, some of them weren't. I'll see how I play against them. So I jump in. And, it's just a pickup game. So there's not like a jump ball to begin. It's just like, okay, here you go. This team gets the ball first. Very first pass of the game, I go in to make to steal it, right? Somebody passes it to the guy I'm guarding. I'm about to slap it away. And I feel pretty good because it's the starting point guard that made the pass. And I jumped in front of it and swatted it away and start trying to go down to the other end of the court. I make the layup, and then I look down, and I'm like, I can't move my thumb.
Oh, no.
I was like, why can't I move my thumb? What is happening here? So I was sitting there, and it hit it right on the top of it. So I'm thinking I jammed it, right?
I'm recalling this.
Yeah. So I thought I jammed it, and I was like, shit, dude, that hurts. And it was on my right hand. It was on my right hand. I jammed it. And so I'm running around playing for a little bit longer. I'm a right-handed basketball player, so I had to play purely with my left hand because it started swelling up, right? And I couldn't use it anymore. And eventually I was like, okay, I got to take myself out. I can't play anymore. So I go and I get out of there, and I get back in. It's like 3 a.m. or something like that. We're back in the dorm room. They're already giving us shit for coming back in so late when we're supposed to be back by midnight. And I get up to the room, and I'm like, I have to do something. This is bad. I have to leave. I want to go to the ER because I think something's wrong here. So I go downstairs and start trying to get myself. I have to like check out, but they won't let me since I came in so late. They think I'm just trying to leave again to go do something else. I was like, seriously, look at my thumb. It's visibly swollen. I was like, something's wrong. I need to go. Like, well, no, you can't leave unless we have a parent or guardian sign you out. I was like, they live in Michigan.
And you are also a legal adult at this point.
Yeah, but unfortunately it was a private school with a lot of dumb rules, in my opinion.
Yes.
So they wouldn't let me leave. and I ended up calling my sister because they said they'd let me go if my sister took me. My sister and her boyfriend at the time, my sister's 3 years older than I am, and her boyfriend it's her husband now, but
they had just graduated, didn't they?
Heather had, yeah, she had just graduated. He had been out for a year or two, so he's a couple years older than her. So he's probably about 5, 6, 7 years older than me. And I call her and she's like, just go tomorrow morning. It's not going to do anything if you sleep on it tonight. I was like, no, I need to go now. My thumb really hurts. No, we're just going to go tomorrow. Don't make me get up at 3 a.m. to go take you to the ER for them to tell you that it's nothing big. I just fought it. Eventually she caves in. They come and pick me up at like 4 a.m. We go to the ER. We sit there for, an hour and a half or whatever it is. They take x-rays,
Sure.
Comes back, and it's the smallest hairline fracture you could possibly see. And the doctor's like, we had to really zoom in, but you can see there is a little crack right here. And it was just the smallest hairline fracture. I was like, it hurts so bad. And then I found out, like, yeah, there was pain on it, but the main pain was because it jammed it really hard. I was like, yep, I just went to the ER and got x-rays for a jammed thumb.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a good entry. I'm not
It
gonna
was
lie.
actually fractured though, even though it was super
Yeah.
tiny.
It was super tiny, but the guy told me, he goes, you'll have a lot of pressure there. You'll want to put like this brace on to make sure you don't hit it because you could crack it further. He goes, but that should heal very quickly because it's such a small hairline fracture.
And Craig was very sad because his Halo game was ruined
It was
for a
my
while.
right thumb. I couldn't play Halo.
I remember him trying to
Priorities.
play with this cast. He's like, ah!
Is that where you learned how to do the claw grip?
I think so.
It actually probably helped because I ended up having to come down. I couldn't hit the buttons very individually, like the face buttons. I could still somewhat aim with the right stick, but it was like the button hitting was very tough because I couldn't remember. It's just not programmed in your head with how far away your thumb is from a button when it's like all of a sudden got an extension on it. So yeah, I think it helped, but I don't think it was the main thing, but it helped.
I mean, I have good reasons I went to the ER too, but I think I have a more pathetic one.
Okay.
My dad made me go to the ER for an ear infection. That is a true story.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. Dragged to the ER, had like a $3,000 bill over an ear infection.
Wow.
What was the reason? What was his rationale as to why you had to go into the ER for an ear infection?
I'm not really sure. I think it was just because he lived far away from my mom and didn't have access to my regular doctor easily. But instead of just finding like another doctor, he's just like, "Oh my God, we have to go to the ER," and I'm like, it's just an earache.
It wasn't like swollen or like having anything like that.
No.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Oh my God, though, that's
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah. An ear infection is kind of a weak reason to go. I'll give it to you.
So I've only been to the ER once. I say that I've been more than once, but the other times was when I was like a child and couldn't care for myself. So I guess I have one entry into this category. So mine's going to be another long story, kind of like Craig's, because it's awesome.
I think I know this one.
Yeah. So Craig does know this one. So we were being stupid college kids at a time in our lives, because that's what we do when you're in college. So we decided we were going to go to a park, and we decided, let's see if we can carry a tree across a pond.
What?
Yeah.
No, I don't understand. Like, why?
We're stupid. That's
Also, probably drunk. I'm guessing.
Yeah, we'll go with drunk. We'll go with drunk. I like
Okay.
drunk. Yeah. So anyway, so what do? We take off our shoes, take off pretty much everything, and we carry a tree to the middle of the pond. And once we get there, we realize how disgusting this pond is, because you have water up to basically your chin, and you have muck up to above your waistline. So you can literally feel the difference in the liquid. Like the disgusting stuff that's been sitting there and stuff. Yeah, it was just very sanitary conditions. How about I put it that way? So very sanitary conditions. We do that. Well, as we're okay, we're finished. We do it. We're celebrating. As we're walking out, I feel something on the back of my heel scrape. And I went, oh, okay, whatever. So we get out of the lake, and of course there's one person who didn't drive, and they're like calling us idiots and whatnot. And So we get out, and I grab all my clothes, grab my shoes, walk to the, and I'm kind of limping because it hurts. I don't really feel much, but I can tell something's wrong. So I get to the truck we're in. We climb in the back. I look down at my heel, and there's blood everywhere. And so needless to say, I stepped on a bottle
Oh no!
in the most sanitary water ever, if you recall. And I now Craig remembers, and I have this basically a cut that on the back of my right heel that I can still feel because of where it healed, that I could pull up and basically see the bone. It was probably, I don't know, centimeters, millimeters away from cutting my Achilles.
Oh god!
And
Wow.
And so needless to say, I go to the ER for that, and it's like, again, after hours. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning at this point, and so I'm in trouble as well for being out and whatnot. And so we go to the ER, go have fun and all this stuff, and the doctors and all the nurses who are on the ER are enamored and have to come see this kid who smells like absolute shit. Because one, I haven't showered, and two, has this massive J in the back of his heel that once peeled back, it looks like a vagina. So the doctor told me. And yeah, so that's my ER story. And needless to say, it got infected.
Mm-hmm.
And
of course, right?
So for like 2 or 3 weeks, I was running like over 100-degree fever and was on these very powerful antibiotics. And funny story,
Wow.
the next day was like the first time I'd seen my parents that year, because it was in Nashville and they lived in Houston, and I walk out and I'm on crutches.
They're like, "Hey mom, hey
They're
dad."
like, "What happened?" I was like, yeah.
I just remember having to carry your ass around campus after that. Whenever we had to get somewhere fast and you couldn't crutch along fast enough, I had to carry you.
Yeah.
He would like, if we had to go down,
It's Crutch Along Cassidy.
yeah, whenever we had to get like down the stairs really quick, because we lived on the 6th floor. Whenever we had to get down really quick, I'm like, all right, hop on, Burke, and just chug down. He would hold the crutches like in a way that it wouldn't interfere with us moving, and we just trucked down the stairs.
Wow.
And the worst was going upstairs, and we had to go upstairs fast, and I had to carry him up 6 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Was the "I Need a Hero" playing in the background as you were carrying him, or what?
No, I would say it was the "Sad My Heart Will Go On."
Yeah.
'Cause that's how that one felt.
Yep. So that's my one ER story. So I don't think I'll win, but
No. I mean, that was
That's like a legit.
that was a legit visit right there.
but it's my only one, so I'm fucked.
Brian, did you have a pathetic one?
Yeah, like Burke, I've only been to the ER one time in my entire life. I actually, those of you who know me, and for those of you who don't know, I have a terrible fear of being a patient at a hospital, doctor's office, doesn't matter. Although I have worked in the medical field for 5 years, I have I don't mind being on that side of it because I'm working. It's different. But as a patient, I'm utterly terrified. Like
This is part of your control issue. I'm just putting that out there.
every podcast, Michelle diagnoses me a little bit further, and she's getting closer and closer. Like, this is half therapy, half podcast at this point. But the point
This
is
is actually just an intervention podcast.
this has never been aired. None of these episodes have ever been aired. These are all just kind of backlogged. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm hitting record.
Yep, we put it out there. People are listening. They're tweeting in. Breen, you keep talking.
Oh yeah. Oh no! Now I'm feeling a Truman Show thing. But no, anyway. But the point is that I have being a patient at a hospital and the ocean are the only two things in this world that really kind of like truly scare me. You know what I mean? So I really made it a point in my life to never get into a position where I had to go to the hospital. That was until I went I was living in Arkansas, and I decided, I was like, you know what, it's really hot. My girlfriend at the time, she was already at the pool there, at the complex that I was living at. She was like, "Oh, I'll meet you at the pool." I go, "Okay." So it's really hot. I get changed in my bathing suit. I go to walk out to the pool, and as the little gate that's right next to the pool there, around the pool, I should say, I walk in. The gate shuts behind me. I feel something go like a little like a twinge of pain on my right heel, and the gate had a little bit of metal sticking out of the bottom of it. Cut me in such a way that it cut the inside of my foot open, and so I looked down and I instantly knew I had to get stitches, right? And I was like, no, all those years, all that safety, all for naught, and I start hyperventilating, right? And she goes, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I go, "No, I have to go get like stitches for this." And she's like, she looks at it, she goes, "Oh God, yeah," because it was like it wasn't quite to the bone like Burke's was, but it was open, and it was gushing blood pretty good and whatever. So I was like, okay, so we get it wrapped up. The hospital's like less than 5 minutes away, and we drive there, and on the entire way there, I'm starting to hyperventilate and going, "It's gonna be okay, right? Like this is all okay. This is all gonna be fine." And she's like, Yeah. It's just you're gonna need probably some stitches. And I'm like, "Cool, all right." We get to the parking lot. She doesn't drop me off. She parks in the fucking back of the entire place, and I'm like, "Thanks, hon. I'm just gonna walk in, bleeding out the foot. Whatever." She starts laughing. She's, "I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking." And so I hobble in, right? And so she helps me inside, and I eventually go back to the room, and they take my blood pressure. And it was so far off the chart, they had to do it 3 additional times because they were like, "This can't be right on this reading." And I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" Like, "It's really high." And so they take it again, they take it again, they take it, and they go, "If you don't calm down, you're going to have a heart attack." And I'm literally just going, They didn't even stitch me. They glued it shut. And they literally used the glue, and I was so terrified and so freaked out by it, and I was sweating so hard from it. I was soaked head to toe. It was a nightmare. I hate it. But that's my story. I got got by a gate.
Michelle wins.
Oh yeah, Michelle wins for sure because it wasn't even her choice.
Wow, that is special.
Yeah. I said I don't do well in those scenarios. I literally try to avoid going to the doctor or to anything like that if I can avoid it. Yeah.
So speaking of doctors and college time, I made friends with the doctor who I went back to for my heel, because I had to get more antibiotics. As I said, it was clean water, healthy water. So anyways,
very clean, clear.
Very clean. About a year later, I had a guy who was good friends with, lived down the hall. This is after Craig left. But every year we did this.
Wow, that saltiness.
I know. That still comes through 10 years later, does it? So anyways, this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Dude, I need to go to the doctor." I'm like, "Okay. You need me to take you?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm kind of freaking out." I was like, "Oh, okay, what's going on?" He goes, "One of my testicles is black." And he's white. I just probably should say that. I go, "What?"
And you don't know this person? Is that what I'm gathering?
No. He was a good friend.
What? No, I'm sorry, I missed that part.
He was a good friend. So
did he lead with this?
Yeah, he goes, "So what am I?" Well, he probably said balls, but I was like, "Well, we'll go medical terminology." And one of his testicles was black, and so I go,
"Please tell me you told him to take his pants down and prove it."
So I go,
because that'd be like, "I have to see this. Show me your balls right now."
I go, I'm just ignoring Craig right now. And so I go, he goes, "All right, so where's the medical person, the doctor on campus?" I go, "All right, follow me." So we walk over there.
Wait, whoa. It wasn't like this was a pre-existing condition. It's something that just came up and sprung up, and so instead of just saying, "Hey, can you direct me to the medical professional?" He chose to lead with, "Hey, check it out. It's Dalmatian down there."
Well, so yeah. So pretty much he goes, "So I don't remember if he told me it first or not, but but I think I'm pretty sure he told me because it was awesome. Just the way he said, I was like, okay, I'm never gonna forget this moment in my life. So I take him to the medical person on staff. And he kicks me out, makes me, and apparently drops Trow in front of the nurse, and they go, yeah, you need to go to a doctor. So because I've been to the doctors before and I took a lot of people to the doctor, they go, all right, let's go to the doctor. So we go to the doctor. And again, remember, this is the one I've been to many other times. So we get there, and at this point, I'm very curious as well. And so
I mean, who wouldn't be?
So, of course, I have to see it. So I've now seen my friend's balls, and it wasn't straight black. It was more of a but it was black comparatively. It literally looked like one of his nuts had this massive bruise on it. Like,
so it was like a discoloration.
It hurts.
But there was anyways, it was just very it looked very painful. And he goes, it was painful sometimes, but sometimes it wasn't. So anyways, but it literally, there was just right down the middle of the scrotum. It was like this fucking dividing line. It was white and black.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I was very. I don't think I've ever stared at.
I don't think
I've ever stared at a man's junk as long and been so interested. It was awesome.
As long, he says.
Yes.
There's been other times in my day, but this was a looker.
Took the kick.
So we go to.
Burke's sitting there in front of it taking selfies. I'm just imagining he's got the phone up and he's giving the peace sign with like duck lips, which is really bad in that area if he's not wanting to be too near.
It's like the Mount Rushmore thing. He's got like a Hawaiian shirt and stuff on.
Oh my god!
He got a T-shirt. I survived the.
I survived the black ball incident of 2007.
Oh my god!
So we go to the doctor, and of course the doctor looks at me, recognizes me, and she goes, "How's your heel doing?" Vagina foot, and I was like, damn, I'm good. So what brings you in here today? Who'd you hurt this time? So I go, well, I didn't hurt him this time, but my friend's got a big black testicle.
What?
Oh Lord!
Needless to say, I get kicked out of the doctors. I get kicked out of the room by my friend, and at this point, I'm just driving him to doctor because this doctor looks at it and goes, yeah, you need to go get it ultrasound on your testicle. So he doesn't let me go into this doctor. Turns out it ended up just being a bruised testicle. But
bruised. But how did he get bruised? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of unanswered questions in the story here. like how like, okay, like there's a lot of times where I'll wake up with like a bruise on my arm, and I'm like, how did that get there? But I would always remember if there was a bruise on one of my like there's no way.
So I asked him, I was like, did you piss off a girl? Did you get kicked in the nuts or something? He goes, no. So what we thought, he was in this play. And basically, they had to do these kind of dives on stage, apparently, where they like kind of dove down and to like the push-up position or something. Mm-hmm. And he thinks he hit it one time doing that and bruised his testicle. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
From a play?
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's not even like he can't, like, he would have won this if this was the like unquestionably he would have been like, I'm the guy with the the Oreo nuts. I know, like.
So I asked him, and his dick never got bigger, unfortunately, and it did get healed. So
wow. Yeah. Jeez. That's
and I'm one of those people that when people tell stories about pain, I have like empathy pains with it. This one has taken me for a ride. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm not even a guy, and my stomach's like turning right now.
Yeah, I had to take my headset off a couple times.
I was just straight up laughing.
Oh Lord, that hurt.
So I have a question for you guys then. Have any of you experienced something where you probably should have gotten medical attention but didn't?
Always, yes. No, the reality of it is that like there are so many instances where I should have gotten medical. Okay, out of nowhere on my right wrist, this is 4 or 5 months ago, a giant ball appeared on my wrist. Like, Yeah,
What?
like
Oh, do you know how to get rid of those? Because I got one like 2 weeks ago.
yeah. So for me, it took about 3 months of me just pushing on it every day. Then one day, it just like essentially disappeared into my skin.
Stop! Oh my God! Stop! Oh my Lord!
My shoulder.
I smacked mine with a book.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Oh my Lord! Stop it, people!
I find slow, constant
God, it
pressure
hurts.
helps, and if you just hold it on there, feel like a little bit a day, and then I mean, granted, I know it kind of pushes on the nerves a little bit. I'm sure Craig can imagine that a little bit, but it's true. But yeah, so there's that. My shoulder currently, I think I did something to my rotator cuff. Really should get that looked at, but I'm not.
I'm assuming, and this is all part of your phobia,
no.
that you're just not going to go because you don't want to be a
The
patient.
thing is that the only times that I've ever gone to the doctor for like a medical issue were the one that I mentioned, and then like a couple other real select cases. Like for example, at one point I started getting dizzy, and I don't mean like, oh, I'm slightly dizzy. I mean I was out on the golf course and I was trying to I looked down to putt, and I was like, oh, the world is spinning a little bit. This is kind of weird. And I was like, well, whatever. Maybe I'm just dehydrated or something. And then the next day I went to tie my shoes and I fell over into the corner of my house and I couldn't stand up. And I'm like, this is a problem. And so I ended up having to go to the doctor, and they said I had some sort of like really bad inner ear infection that was throwing off my equilibrium. So basically I was experiencing like vertigo from a super inner ear infection, and that was the and
From 6 feet up, you're getting
seriously,
vertigo.
it was to the point where like they like if like my equilibrium was so far off that I couldn't do like life activities because of it. So I was like, well, I guess I'll have to go now.
There really hasn't
yeah.
been anything for me that I didn't end up going for that I thought might be something serious. I think for the most part, whenever there was something serious enough to merit me going, because I've had a lot of injuries from sports and things like that, and I end up going because I want to make sure I haven't really experienced too many since basically post high school, but definitely during high school I was like, I don't want to do anything like this, and then it messed me up for years and years to come.
No.
So I was always pretty good about injuries and things like that. Like sickness, if it's ever like a sickness, I never go in. Like, nope, I'll weather the storm. I'll get this done. Don't worry about that. But in terms of injuries, I'll go in a lot on that so I don't have like further problems down the road.
Those intense times where you play volleyball in a gym.
That hurt. That hurt so much.
I just love that we were surrounded by a group of. We were playing. This is just context for everybody else. We were playing volleyball in a gym, and Craig got hurt. Was it your ankle?
Yeah, I went up to block someone's spike. Brett's now wife. I was trying to block her spike.
And she's good.
Yeah, she was good. She played collegiately, or could have at least in some way. She had a scholarship to play volleyball in college, and I went up to try and block one of her spikes, and I just completely forgot how to athletic. And when I came back down, just imagine coming down on the outside of your foot, like straight down onto it, and I just crumpled into a heap.
Yeah. So, but what was really special about that was that all the people pretty much everybody that we were with was in nursing school at the time. Like every single one of them. Like, here's the kick, except for me and Craig, obviously, or Craig and I, whatever proper English. But the point is that he goes down, and I go, anyone gonna help him? And they all just kind of stood around.
Was just staring at me like, I wonder if he's good.
I'm like, bust a stethoscope out, take his temperature, something. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying you're gonna wave a magic wand and fix him, but shit, spring into action, show some hustle out here. But oh my god.
So I have. There was one time that I can think of in recent history where I should have gone to the doctor, and I guess I technically did. I went to the ski patrol, but they told me to go to the ER. I did not. Basically, I dislocated my shoulder snowboarding. Because it popped back in, and I went, I'm good. Kept skiing. Fell down 2 more times because someone ran in front of me, and I tried to stop and rolled over on my shoulder, and that's when it really popped out. I was like, okay, I'm going to and basically I was taking Advil and aspirin the rest of the week, but I still snowboarded. I was like, I'm not stopping.
That's like my brother. He on the first day we were on a ski trip. On the first day, he got cut off by a skier that ran into him and it put his snowboard into the back of his head and cut it open.
Yeah.
And he ended up having to get stitches in the back of his head, but he finished the weekend out, snowboarding the whole time.
Oh yeah, I stayed true, kept snowboarding. I just was careful. I told my mom I wouldn't do any blacks. I lied and still did them.
Of course, right?
It was just one of those, whatever. But never went to the doctor. But I did feel pain for the next, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 months as the tendons healed back. Like I had to sleep certain ways during the evening. Like there was a point, like the day it happened, I went to bed. I was like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna ski. I woke up that morning. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking skiing. It's happening, man. Yeah.
Go time.
So this is not what I would consider my most serious injury, but it's kind of one of my craziest just because of the after effect. So I was like 15 at the time. I had big glasses, I had braces, and we were getting ready to go to my aunt and uncle's house for the weekend. And my parents had a van, and pretty much the arrangement is that I would sit in the last set of seats, just keep to myself, playing my Game Boy. My sisters would sit separated in the middle, and then my parents would obviously be like up front. But for whatever reason, my younger sister this weekend was like just determined that she needed the back seat. And like, I wasn't making a big deal of it. I was already in the van playing my Game Boy at the time. And she just got super pissed off. She goes into the house and she grabs this water bottle that she had stuck in the freezer for the last 24 hours. She comes out and she just chucks it at my face. And the corner of my mouth goes into my braces and it cuts a hole into my cheek. I still have this scar. It cuts a hole into my cheek. It bleeds for like the next 14 hours. Like it was gushing blood for like the first like 30 minutes and then it kind of slowed down, but it was still bleeding for the next 14 hours. So I was like holding a washcloth to it for that whole time. But the thing is once it stopped bleeding, you could literally see into the inside of my cheek. And it was just it was disgusting.
Nice.
Like you could see the muscles and stuff. And then it kind of healed up just within a couple of days. So I never got it checked out. I maybe should have, because I don't know if anything like got in there or something. But yeah, it was pretty gross.
Oh man. Craig, how you doing with that one?
Oh my god, I am so glad I was muted because I was just like crying over here.
All right, so I think instead of doing a quiz, we should see who can get Craig to be.
Nope, I'm not in on this game. This is not happening.
No.
I will leave this podcast. You won't have to kick me out.
I got one more story for you, Craig. One more story for you, Craig. How about it?
Oh Lord.
All right, so there was a time when I was young and stupid, and we were playing with a knife. Basically, and this knife had on the back of it had a fish gut kind of piece. I don't know if everyone knows, but it's basically like upside down little kind of U. Basically, well, the knife was sheathed, and we were acting like we were cutting each other because it was basically a long knife, about 12 plus inches long. Well, apparently, my friend, he had the knife, and I grabbed the sheath like I was blocking it and pulled the sheath off, and basically that hook went straight into my palm between my thumb and forefinger. And I still have a scar, and it came out. It poked out the other side of my hand, and we went, uh-oh. And I looked, and I could open up my hand, and I could see inside it. I could see all the muscle. There it goes. Yes. And like I could see inside my hand, and then the blood started gushing. But I just ended up just taping it up and never got stitches.
Oh my god.
Brian, have you ever fought a fish hook?
Yes, I actually have. My buddy, our buddy there, Brett, decided one day to drive a fish hook so far into my thumb that I have a permanent scar where he just literally he set the hook on my hand. What happened was he had never been fishing before. I go, well, let's go out fishing. first cast, the guy catches like like what was it, 17-inch bass, something like largemouth bass. I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome. But he has no idea how to get it out of the water. So I lip the bass, I bring it out, I undo the hook. As soon as I undid the hook, that's when he set it again in my thumb, and I was like, like it hurt like hell, and I still have that scar there. Although, by the way, Michelle, I did want to add in that my brother threw a piece of asphalt and hit me in the head when we were children. So because I was riding the like Power Wheels thing, and he wanted his turn, and I tried to drive away, and he threw asphalt at me. So siblings are fun.
I've had a neighbor hit.
Wow.
My sister took a brick to my face. I had a neighbor kid take a shovel to my head.
brick?
I've got so many of these little
God.
stories.
Oh my God. See, like, I don't have any of those types of things. I just have a tons of like breaks, tears, and all that other type of stuff. Like, technically my thumb was broken, though I barely consider that one. I broke my ankle. There's a little piece on your elbow. Have you ever felt like the inside of your elbow, there's like a little bump there? It's like a chunk of bone that sticks out. That is free floating in my left arm.
Cool.
For
Nice.
me, I got hit by a baseball bat. A guy was warming up swinging in the wrong spot at a baseball tournament, and I happened to try and get out of the way, and he just smashed that off my elbow, basically. I cracked my, what's the thing up by your shoulder? Oh my gosh. Collarbone. There we go. Thank you. Collarbone. I cracked my collarbone during football, and I cracked my tibia during baseball at one point. Took a line drive off the shin. I've just got those types of things. I've never been attacked though by especially siblings, because me and my sister didn't we didn't interact at all.
I accidentally hit I hit my brother in the neck or whatever with a bat when we were children, and he had to go to the ER for that. So good times. We all, oh God. I love when you, by the way, one more thing before we get going on with the quiz and stuff there, Craig, when you were describing all your issues, all I could think of was Not Another Teen Movie, where it's like all that with a subdermal hematoma. I was just kind of laughing about that one. But speaking of the quiz, who did the quiz this week?
I did. So they are all basically about world record setting issues. So it's pretty fun. Most of them are official records. Some of them are slightly unofficial, which I'll explain for each one individually. So the first one we have, this famous person has the world record for most broken bones in a lifetime, not at once, at 433 recorded fractures.
I'm going to go with Evel Knievel.
I'm going to go with Jackie Chan.
I'm gonna go with Evel Knievel as well.
So Craig and Burke are correct. It is Evel Knievel.
Aww.
Jackie Chan does have a world record for most stunts done by the actor and not a stunt double.
Nice. Well, you know what?
I did come across that.
Jackie's the man. Let's be honest.
Nice.
Jackie!
Wow.
That's my Chris Tucker impression, everybody.
Brian, just to let you know, I felt like Jackie Chan for the last little bit. I've been playing Assassin's Creed a whole ton. And I'm to the point in the game where basically you start walking anywhere and everybody's like, hey, what's he doing over there? I'm like,
Get him. Hey, what's he doing over there? That's a Pablo Francisco joke for those of you out there who don't know that one.
This next question, when you give your answer, you can answer in either millimeters or inches, but I need you to specify which one you're going with, okay?
Okay.
So Kim Goodman, a resident of the USA, received an injury when a hockey mask hit her head. When she got the injury, she realized that she could pop her eyeballs out of her eye sockets. How far can she do that?
Greg's going first.
Also, this picture, when I was looking at the picture, it freaked me the fuck out. I was like, oh.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You said millimeters and inches?
Millimeters or inches.
Oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. Brian, remember how you were at the hospital earlier?
Yeah, hyperventilating and my heart was beating in my chest.
Yep, all
Yeah,
that.
so she does it on purpose now.
Yeah, intentional popping my...
Nope, none of that. Nope. No. I'm going to go with 3 inches.
I'm going to go with 1.5 inches.
I'm going to go with 1 inch.
Okay, so Burke is the closest because in inches it's 0.47 inches that she can pop them out of her eye socket.
Oh, wow.
I knew that one because I've seen the picture. It wasn't much.
Yeah, I figured it was like that, but the idea of like them hanging on by the retinal cords was hilarious to me.
Oh my God.
Like it's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's when they do the thing.
All right. In July of 1993, after being almost completely paralyzed from a car accident on the New Jersey Turnpike, I cannot pronounce this name, the last name, but the first name is Shyamala. She received this world record dollar amount for personal injury damages.
I was gonna laugh if the last name was like Smith. I can't pronounce it. Let's go with 71.11 million.
I'm gonna just say 50 million.
I'm gonna go 51 million.
You son of
Finally have a
So,
chance.
what did Craig? You said 70.
He said 75, I think, right?
71.11.
Oh, sorry, that's right.
Okay, so Craig is the closest. She received $163,882,660.
How did she?
For what?
It was from a car accident. It was personal injury damages from a car accident.
Was she hit by the president?
Like, I don't know, but the 8 million of it was like the settlement, and then the rest was like paying for her medical bills for the rest of her life because she's almost completely paralyzed.
Yeah, okay.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But it's the world record dollar amount for personal injury damages.
Jeez.
I don't know how like anybody would even pay that.
And that was like in 1993 too. Like that's not even adjusting for inflation.
Yeah.
1993, you can think of basically like 50% more ish,
Wow.
roughly, to get a number. So
Right.
Wow.
wow.
Jackie, wow.
In April of 2014, how many people were killed in an avalanche on Mount Everest, setting the record for most deaths on Everest in one day?
That's a record. Like we did.
The avalanche is celebrated.
No. Craig's picturing at the bottom of the mountain, there's like a Sherpa with a days since like accident.
All of these
flips
are
it back
right
to
from
zero.
the Guinness Book.
Let's go with 71.11.
How do you have 0.11 on a person?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say 8.
I actually should know this. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna go with 9.
God.
So Bert gets it with that cut there. It's 17.
Are you kidding? You son of a. Make your own
See,
guess.
my guess. I got the numbers like flipped in my
Yeah,
head. See,
yeah,
I was
you were
right.
right.
My psychic link just flipped them. I was imagining everybody decided to climb Everest and every single base camp got hit. That was my thought
Well,
process.
they only have like a few people go up, like groups of like 12 at a time or something like that.
Yeah, but I'm imagining it was like groups of 12 in a couple different spots, and every base camp got littered with the people, because they've got like a Burger King and stuff at the second base camp, And,
Sure.
For the people that really want it, they've got a Subway there too. So the workers have to get up there.
I'm just picturing it also kind of like at an amusement park. We have the pictures of like them on the ride. It's like your face at the top, and it's just like the really cheesy thing, like $14 for the picture.
All right. Next question. Question number 5. In what year was the first recording of a person killed by a car?
I'm gonna go with 1955.
1955. Now I'm going to say that it had to have been, 1933.
So Brian, I picked out a number before you said anything. Just know this.
Don't.
1932. I am not kidding.
Son of a-
in my head.
No.
Brian knows everybody else's
In
pain
my
now.
head, I literally said
In my
1932.
head, I stole what you said
Yeah.
and then altered it slightly. Okay,
I'm not
yeah.
lying on that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
Okay, so in this one, I do have a little bit of the story. The year was 1896, so Burke is the closest. And it was in the United Kingdom. They were doing demonstration rides with a French vehicle. And this woman walked in front of one of them that was going a massive 4 miles per hour.
What?
That was the entirety of why I picked so late. Was they couldn't get the horsepower to really mow someone over till a little bit later.
Yeah, so
No,
people
Craig-
can walk faster than this car was moving, but it somehow
She
still
was
killed
texting.
her.
But I love Craig's logic behind that, and You guessed past World War II.
Yeah, I know.
And when you're like cars can't go faster than 4 miles an hour.
I'm
It's like
factoring
we
in.
mastered
I'm
flight by this point.
I'm factoring in the speed that cars are normally going to go, and then I'm also factoring in how handy people are going to have cameras around cars at that point and happen to catch someone getting hit by a car. Like that, I was like, okay, so I was going with the 30s is when
recorded. I don't mean camera. I just
Like
mean
written down.
there's like a literal.
see, I
record of
literally was
it.
thinking recorded,
No,
like
it was,
filmed.
there was some sort of record of it.
I was thinking
okay, see.
video camera as well. That's why I went
I thought
1930.
that's what I thought. Yeah, and that's
Okay, so I apologize. Yeah, anytime I use the recorded thing, there's a written record of
Okay.
it. There's witnesses.
Okay.
That's what I
There's
assumed.
there's some kind of proof.
Okay,
Yeah.
that will definitely change my
that
answer
makes
from
more
here on out.
sense.
Because I was going, okay, so they got, things are going to go a lot faster. You start getting into the 20s and 30s and things like that, but people aren't going to have like their iPhone to whip out and record random shit. So now cameras are a bit more prevalent in the 50s, and someone had to have caught it by then. So that was my guess.
All right, number 6. Tsutomu Yamaguchi of Japan was the first confirmed person to have survived what experience twice?
Struck by lightning.
You know what? I think that he's right. Struck by lightning. I'm gonna say the same
I'm
thing.
gonna triple down on that. Say the same.
Okay, so you are all incorrect. It was actually nuclear bombs.
Oh my god, I know this story.
Let me
Damn, I
read
know
you
this story.
Yes, so he was in Hiroshima on a business trip on the 6th of August in 1945 when they dropped the little boy atomic bomb on the city. He got burns on his upper body, but he managed to survive, and he went to Nagasaki 2 days later when they dropped Fat Boy.
Are you kidding?
And he managed to survive again. In both cities, he was within 3 kilometers of ground zero. And he did end up dying of stomach cancer like years down the road, but he did survive
That's
at the
crazy.
time.
Is he either the luckiest or the most unlucky guy in Japan at that point?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Like,
Because Hiroshima, it was over 140,000 deaths, and Nagasaki was over 73,000.
Yeah.
And he was that close and survived both.
My answer to you, Brian, for which was it, is yes.
yeah, really. I mean, like if let's be honest, if Cortana in the Halo universe existed, she would have chose him over John. Like, let's be.
Oh my god, yeah.
Been like, look, this guy's
Definitely.
lucky,
I like
but
it.
this guy's really lucky. All right.
How old was the youngest ever open heart surgery patient?
4.
I'm gonna say 6 months.
Gonna say 7 years.
All right, so Brian is the closest. It's actually 1 minute old. She was taken out
Holy.
and she immediately had to have open heart surgery.
What?
Like, the mother did not even get to hold the baby. She just immediately had to go under for heart surgery.
amazing.
They already knew that she was going to have this condition from ultrasounds and stuff. And she's still getting surgeries related to it, and she's probably going to have a heart transplant before she's 8.
Wow.
But she did go under at 1
That's
minute.
amazing.
But she survived. What a tough
But
girl.
she survived.
Like, no, seriously,
Yeah,
that's
she's
that's
still
impressive.
alive now.
good. I mean, like, seriously, good for her. Holy crap.
Good on the medical community,
No
too.
kidding.
Yeah,
That's huge.
Like,
Yeah,
1
ditto.
minute out, and they're like, yep, this heart's very large and able to be.
She's actually missing half of it was the issue, and they had figured that out prior to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the surgeons. I mean, could you imagine how steady your hand has to be to operate on a newborn and a 1 minute old? Like, I couldn't even.
That's why I went with 4. I was like, okay, it's given some time to grow, and maybe that's when they could get into it. And beforehand, it was kind of, not that they wouldn't be able to do anything, but I'm thinking, well, it's kind of a like, there's not much we can do type situation,
Yeah.
which is vastly underestimating the medical community, but that's where my head was.
Okay, so question number 8. In June of 2008, a man from Pakistan had the world's heaviest kidney stone removed. How much did it weigh? I have answers in grams or ounces.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with 71.11 ounces. Grams. Sorry, I meant to say grams.
We'll go with 50 grams.
I will go with 7 pounds, so that's like, I don't know. I don't do math. Let's go 65 ounces.
Okay. I have to do some conversion, but I'm almost positive that Burke is correct. Or not correct, but closest. It's 21.87 ounces, and it was 620, which is 620 grams.
Yeah.
Holy.
I'm gonna go with Burke
Yeah,
one.
that was close.
Yeah.
I
I'm
was
pretty sure he's
closest.
the closest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ounces and grams are measurement symbols that I literally do not understand to this day. I have to admit that I can't pretend like I'm like, oh, I know what. Like, no. Mm-mm.
Okay. Question 9. As of 1994, Charles Jensen of the United States has endured the most operations of any person. This is medically necessary operations, not cosmetic. How many has he endured?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go with 71.11.
I'm gonna go with 700.
I'm gonna go with 100.
And these are surgeries and procedures, or just surgery?
It says operations.
Okay, then yeah, I'm good with mine.
So Brian's the closest. He has had 970
Yeah.
medical operations.
Well, the thing is that like a medical operation doesn't always entail like, you know, like people when they hear the word operation, they think of like the game where it's like, oh, we're going to take out your ribs and your heart. Like it could literally be considered like, hey, I basically sewed your foot shut, but I kind of peeked inside. That's technically considered an operation. Thanks for your money. Bye-bye. Like,
I don't have a lot of the details, but most of it was related to, I believe it was brain tumors, or like, and it was like repeatedly had to go
Sure.
in and remove pieces of the brain tumors and stuff like that. And they had to do it in separate operations because they don't want to do damage.
Wow.
gotcha.
All right, question 10. So this is... Okay, sorry, I lost my place. By 1997, Ray Sullivan of Virginia has survived how many lightning strikes? Again, this is the world record for it.
Oh, here we go, Craig. Here it is for real this time.
71.11.
I'm going to say 3.
I'm gonna go with 4.
Son of a bitch, Burke.
So Burke gets it with that cut again because the answer is 7.
No! I refuse to accept that Burke edges me out like this.
So,
Man,
so
my
let me read
decimal
this.
was just
let
off.
me read this though. I want to give you this story. All right. So, this is the story of the times that he got struck. In 1942, he got struck and lost his big toenail. In 1969, he got struck again, lost his eyebrows. July of 1970, he got his left shoulder seared. 1972, his hair caught fire. 1973, his hair caught fire again and his legs got burned. 1976, it hurt his ankle, and 1977, it gave him chest and stomach burns, and then in 1983, he committed suicide after he got his heart broken.
Oh my god. The
Wow.
last part was a little bit of a left turn.
What did he do for a living? Do you know that by chance?
He's a golfer.
I don't know.
Burke very confidently. He was a golfer.
Because it's
Hold on,
a
I think he was a wildlife ranger.
okay, that makes a little bit more sense because at a certain point I'd be
Park
like, I'm
ranger.
not going outside.
He's a
like, I'm
lightning
done
catcher.
going outside.
I believe.
So he was a park ranger, yes.
Yeah, he was literally trying to battle lightning in
Hey,
a bottle.
boo-boo.
Hey, boo boo, we're gonna catch the lightning. Like, I can't believe that. That's like, once again, either the luckiest or unluckiest. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Question 11. In what year was the first recorded death to a person by robot?
I'm gonna go with, and this is not knowing what the definition of robot that they're using. Let's go with.
If you give me a second, I may be able to tell you that.
Okay.
And while you're looking that up, I'm also looking up something that's not that, but is necessary.
So they caught this on film, right?
I'm not sure about that, but it sounds like their definition of robot is a functioning machine that can do what it needed to do without the human interaction.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Like it was programmed to do this, thing, and it was an accident. I'm just gonna put that out there, but it was programmed to do something specific on its own.
Programmed to murder you.
the first
Well,
death
not
bot.
Kill limit 1. Let's go with 63.
I'm going to go with November 27th, 1985. That's the release date of Rocky 4, because that robot, killed Paulie. Like, let's be honest here. You guys remember that Happy Birthday Polly robot that was creepy as shit that didn't belong in that movie? That thing killed somebody. I'm saying it's that.
I'm going to go with 1971.1.
Oh.
Okay, so
January 11th, 1971.
Brian is the closest still.
Yeah!
I had to factor in Berg's fucking .1. But so it was 1979.
Hey!
Robert Williams was struck in the head and killed by the arm of a 1-ton production line robot at the Ford Motor Company in Flat Rock, Michigan.
That's what I was figuring what it was going to be.
The robot was part of a parts retrieval system that moved material from one part of the factory to another. It began running slowly, so he decided to try to get the parts off manually, and the robot hit him in the head, and he died instantly.
Oh my god. See, that's probably one of the reasons why you're supposed to wear a helmet out on those floors now. I worked in a production plant for a while.
I
and
imagine
they
that
force
was
you.
definitely a factor.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. But dang.
I was sitting there going, I was like, I guarantee this has something to do with somebody making cars.
Not Rocky 4?
No, not Rocky 4.
Are you sure?
Nope, not Rocky 4.
Happy
I'm
birthday,
sure.
Polly.
Question 12. The video game Arm Spirit, which is an arcade game, by the way, by the company Atlas, has the record for most bones broken from a video game. How many bones were broken as a direct result of playing the simulation video game?
Oh, gosh.
Jeez.
I don't have any more information than that either.
I know exactly what this is. I don't know the number, but I know exactly what happened. Let's go 71.11.
I want to say that there were 700 reported bones broken.
I'm going to go with 5,000.
Okay, so Craig is the closest. The answer is 3.
Oh, man.
It's only 3 because they pulled the machine shortly after that. But this was confirmed that the game was the cause of it because of some way that they had to move their shoulders or something, like people broke their arms.
See, I thought it was the game that was the, like, you have to punch it as hard as you can and it measures your output.
Oh.
Oh no, that's something else. I mean, but those things are death traps. I'll give you that.
And so I thought, because I know people have broken their hands and stuff like on that, because you see them a lot in bars, and I guess it's not necessarily the cause of the game, so I guess that's probably where it is, but people will miss and just smoke the wall behind it.
Yeah, I've seen those fail compilations.
Yeah, the people do that, so I was thinking that's why. Yeah,
the only other piece of information I have, which really isn't useful, is that the company stated during the recall, we think maybe players get overexcited and twist their arms in unnatural ways. That's the only comment about. I don't know what happened or what the game's about or anything like that.
Huh.
Okay, so this question 13, is the only one on here that's not record related. It's just a weird situation. A 19-year-old boy was taken to the hospital when he began twitching and having seizures. He spent 3 days in a coma. The cause? He overdosed on this condiment for food.
Overdosed on a condiment for food?
I'm gonna go with ketchup.
I'm gonna say vinegar.
I'm going to go with ketchup as well.
I'm gonna have a second guess as nutmeg.
No, so you guys are all incorrect. It's soy sauce. So he drank a quart of soy sauce as a dare, and obviously had a lot of salt in his system, which caused like a lot of problems, but he's fine now. Like he didn't even have lasting damage like they expected him to. But yeah, he overdosed on soy sauce.
Oh my gosh.
There's a good dare, kids.
All right, this one I did not find as a world record, but I imagine it probably is up there. It's just another like medical thing that I came across. A 54-year-old man in Atlanta, Georgia, kept suffering cardiac arrest repeatedly. In the first hour alone, his heart stopped 50 times.
Oh.
How many times did the doctors end up having to restart his heart?
Well, what they
Hint,
don't. Oh,
the minimum is 50.
well, what they don't know is his name is Barry Allen, and his heart was moving so fast they thought he was going into cardiac arrest, but he really wasn't. It was just beating really fast. I'm gonna go with 71.11.
God dang it, Craig. I'm gonna go with 60.
150.
Okay, so Craig is the closest. It's 100.
Damn it! I was. Wow.
Yeah, he had to get defibbed every single time, and it happened so much that he got second-degree burns on his chest from the defibrillator. But he survived the ordeal and was back at work within a few weeks.
No,
What?
I wouldn't know. I'm retired. Just send my checks to my house. I'm done. Like if I suffer that, no. Mm-mm.
All right. Yeah. And question number 15. Now, this is an unofficial record, only because they don't want people to try to break this record, and you'll understand why when I read the question. Michael Molloy holds an unofficial record for being the hardest person to kill, surviving how many unique attempts on his life by people trying to collect insurance from him.
Ooh.
Like they took out insurance policies on him, so then they were trying to kill him to collect the insurance.
You can do that?
Wow.
Like
This is going back, I believe, to the 30s.
okay,
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
I'm gonna go with 50 Cent, Bob.
I was going with this is what I'm trying to do with my wife, so yeah, it's called insurance fraud. I'm almost there with
Got a
it.
plan? Good.
I'm gonna go with 11 attempts.
Look you, Craig. And you said you did say unique, right?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 10 attempts. I'm gonna edge Craig out on that side of it. Burke's gonna go 12.
I'm gonna go 12.
All
No,
right, so
fuck you guys, but-
Brian gets it with the clipping. So
Should've clipped
he
Brian
survived
again.
8 and died on the 9th. All right, so are you ready for this story?
Okay.
Because I have the whole story.
Please tell me.
Okay, so it was 1933, and he was homeless and a notorious alcoholic. So 5 acquaintances hatched a plan to take out insurance policies on him, then murder him. One of them owned a speakeasy. So the first attempt, they gave him an unlimited tab, hoping that he would drink himself to death. So he spent the next few hours, even into the next day, drinking consistently and did not get alcohol poisoning. So that was their first one. After that, they replaced his whiskey with antifreeze.
Ooh.
He drank 6 shots of it before he passed out, but still did not die. So that was the second one.
Wow.
And actually, he continued to drink it for the next week after that because he didn't know any better. The third time, they changed it to straight turpentine.
Oh.
Still did not die.
How did he not even
How did he not
notice?
know? You moron.
The fourth one, it was horse liniment mixed with rat poison.
Okay, this guy's sounding more and more like Vigo.
The fifth one, raw oysters marinated in wood alcohol. The sixth one, spoiled sardines sprinkled with carpet tacks.
A carpet tax, as in like tax. And he was consuming these things.
Yes.
How? No.
So, wait, how many attempts was that? Did I just tell you?
Too many.
Yeah, like 8 too many.
So that's 1, 2, 3.
Apparently, he only had 8
4,
lives, not
5.
9.
So that's 6 of them. All right. So then this was in January of 1933. So the temperature dropped to negative 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So they shoved him to a snowbank and poured water on his bare chest. So that was number 7. Didn't do anything.
Wow.
Oh my god!
What?
Number 8, they rammed him with a taxi that one of them owned, and then ran him over again. Like, they hit him with it, he went flying like a rag doll, and then they ran him over for good measure. He went to the hospital for 3 weeks, but then returned to the speakeasy saying that he wanted a drink.
Oh my lord!
Finally, they waited until he passed out, stuck a rubber hose in his mouth, and fixed the other end to a gas outlet. It took an hour and his face was purple, but he finally kicked the bucket. So that was the 9th attempt.
Are you
The
kidding me?
conspirators probably would have gotten away with this, but they squabbled over insurance money loud enough that the police heard everything and got the whole scheme.
Oh my
They were
lord!
tried. 4 of the 5 conspirators were executed in the electric chair, and they all died on the first try.
those were the,
Oh my god.
those were the biggest idiots. What?
Are you kidding me? That's real. That's a thing that happened in American history.
America.
Or in history. I should say.
Yeah. So the guy was an Irish immigrant at the time. Like I said, he was homeless and alcoholic, so it was basically like nobody even really cared what was happening to him at all.
Oh my gosh, man!
Like this guy sounds like Rasputin.
Wow.
Like seriously. Do you remember the whole thing about Rasputin? How he couldn't die either. Like
That was actually like in the introduction to the story. They were like, you know, hey, there's this very famous scenario with Rasputin, but this would be the unofficial record holder, and here's why. But obviously, for good reasons, they don't make that an official record because they don't want anyone to try to break that record.
you don't really want that.
no, I don't think so.
Wow.
So what was the point total, Michelle?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Burke, sorry.
That's me. So
I am not the
Sorry.
scorekeeper.
Sorry.
I'm the
Check with
official
the Woo
scorekeeper
Girl.
and Woo Girl.
Woo girl.
All right. Now, with me not keeping score for one round because I somehow missed a round, but I gave the point to Brian just because I edged him out. The loser was Craig with 3 points. I mean 71.1. Brian,
Wait, how many points did I have?
71.1.
No, seriously, how many points
3.
did I have?
3.
Okay, I'll go 71.1.
Yeah.
1.
All right, Brian has 5,
Yay!
and then I won with 6 because I edged him out a few too many times. So,
God dang it.
anyways, so moral of the story is, take insurance out on me.
Yeah, well,
And
I
then-
mean, I think we're all doing better than that guy.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because he got dunked on 9 times.
Oh yeah, we're leaving that in. That's
9 times.
9 times.
I just love like the extended pause, and then it's just like 9 times.